Here we go. So, I promise that I'm going to make it easy. What you saw on the video yesterday is not hard, okay? The proofs might be a little bit tricky, but I want you to understand the information about angles. So it is October 1st. It is 13 more days until my son turns 7. He is very excited. But we are talking about types of angles. The first type of angle that we're going to learn about is a linear pair. And you should already have these in your notes. Okay, so if you already have this, that's fine. Find it and just say, okay, cool. A linear pair. Two angles that form what? What do they form? For
A straight angle.
A straight angle, a straight line, that form a straight line. So I don't like to use straight angle.
A straight line.
Yeah, I'm going to use a form a straight line. So it's two angles that form a straight line. So a linear pair are A and B. Easy?
Yeah.
They have to form a straight pair. Okay? That's the only time that's linear pair. Linear pair. Not linear angles, linear pair. So if you have three angles that form a straight line, is it a linear pair? No, because a pair constitutes two. Linear pair. Okay. Complementary angles. Okay? Any two angles that add up to 90 degrees. Any two angles that add up to 90 degrees. That's the key. If these two, so if I gave you 30 degrees and 60 degree angles, those two are complementary because 30 plus 60 is 90. If I gave you a right angle and split it in half, those two angles, but it could be an angle over here, an angle over here. They don't have to be connected or adjacent. Adjacent means next to. We've learned adjacent already, right? We've talked about adjacent. Adjacent angles mean next to. Now, supplementary, and I'm going to show you my little trick for how I differentiate. Supplementary angles are any two angles that add up to 180 degrees. Guess what? Every linear pair is also supplementary. Every linear pair is also supplementary. But notice, Mr. H, if you weren't being the dweeb, the arrow only goes from linear to supplementary. It doesn't go from supplementary to linear. Every linear pair is also supplementary. But every supplementary angle pair is not linear. Why? Because any two angles, I could draw an angle like this. That's 10 degrees. This is 170 degrees. Those are supplementary. Are they a linear pair? No, they don't form a straight line. These do, though. A and B are absolutely supplementary. Now, how do I teach students to tell the difference between supplementary and complementary? Ready? Complementary is a C. That's a backward C. Complementary is a C. Half of an S. Complementary is 90. Supplementary is two of those C's, which is 180. 90, 180. Because it's two of the same thing. Here's a C. Here's another C. It's just upside down. That forms the S. Does that make sense? Complementary, supplementary. Everybody with me? Do we have these all written down? May I erase these?
Yeah.
Is this making a little bit more sense than whatever the video did?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
That's why I'm paid the big bucks, y'all. I mean, I don't want to brag or anything, but I'm officially making less than I was my very first year teaching, 18 years ago. Big bucks. Okay, we good here? Last one. And I think this is the easiest, but students always have trouble with it, and I don't know why. Vertical angles. angles that are directly opposite of each other when lines intersect. Okay? These are directly opposite each other when lines intersect, and that's confusing. I will try to make it make more sense. Okay? But there is a caveat to vertical angles. Vertical angles are congruent. That means that if you have a pair of vertical angles, they are absolutely the same measure. They are congruent. So if I know one of my vertical angles is 70, the other vertical angle is 70. Mr. H, what do you mean? Great question, y'all. I'd love to answer it because I am a smart man who is good at answering questions. Angles that are directly opposite of each other when lines intersect. There are my intersecting lines. Does anybody disagree that those are my intersecting lines? Okay. All I need is one thing. If I know this is 70 degrees, I can find the measure, and let me erase these other things, of everything else. Okay? I can find the measure of angle 1, 2, and 3. Okay. What angle is vertical to the 70 degrees? Which one is directly opposite of it?
2.
2. So if this is 70, this is 70 degrees. Everybody with me? Okay. Notice if I cover this up, 70 and angle 1, they form what type of pair? We just went over it. What type of pair do they form? They are supplementary, but what pair? Linear pair. They form a straight line. Linear line. Linear line. Linear line. Line. What do two angles on a line have to add up to? 180. So I could say 180 minus 70, or 70 plus 1 equals what? It's going to be 110. So if this is now 110 degrees, what does angle 3 have to be? 110, because those are also vertical. Okay? So vertical have to be congruent. Angle 1 and angle 2 are called adjacent. They're also called linear pair. They're also called supplementary, because these two angles add up to 180. Questions? Really, what questions do we have? That was a real, quick one. Don't freak out. Let's go ahead.
How did it get to 110 again?
What, ma'am?
How did it get to 110 again? I can't forget.
Well, you just told me that straight lines add up to?
180.
So 70 plus what gives me 180? So I do 180 minus 70 is 110.
Ah, okay.
Okay, don't freak out. Please don't freak out. Please don't freak out. There's a lot here. Yeah, I know. I know. First thing that I want you to notice, even though we just did notes because I feel like it's important, I'm big into a teaching style called KTAV or something like this, where it's kinesthetic, like use your hands, tactile, writing, audio, you hear me, visual, you see it, but I gave you the notes anyway.
Okay.
Everything that we just went over is physically right here. Okay, circle. You ready? You're doing the first page. Just star the first page. Okay? Flip it over. You're doing 1 through 8. So circle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's on this page. It says angle pair relationships. So if you flip it. Come on. Okay? Actually, let me do this. That's fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're not doing 9, 10, 11, 12. The next page. Circle the odds. 13, 15, 17, 19, 21. Okay? Then it goes to practice 2-5. Circle 1, 3, and 5. Next page, it says number 1 at the bottom. It says complementary, supplementary, and vertical angles practice part 1. Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
Circle the odds. Next page, number 2, just do 13 and 15. Next page, 18 and 20. I know there's so much. Odds, 1, no, I lied. Just number 1 and 2 on that page. Next page, 15 and 16. $19 and 23. And last but not least, 27 and 32. That should be the last ones. 27 and 32.
There.
Love when I'm right. Okay. You have lots of time. Our lunch is not until 12:20. That's 25 minutes for you to get started. You can work together. You guys can work 3 and 3. I don't really care. But get going. Let me help you. It's a lot. I'm going to also give you, now listen, it will be homework. But I will also give you the first 15 minutes of class tomorrow if you need it. I'd like you to finish it though. Let's go, get started. Ding dong.